Well, buckle your seatbelts tonight if you have them on your recliner in the living room watching Channel 15 Sports. We have Bennington, Post 13, taking on Rutland Post 31. Two teams that bring the best and the worst out in each other, and it's always a big matchup, a huge rivalry, and tonight should be no exception. Looking at Rob Turner, he'll be the starting pitcher out there for Rutland Post 31, coming in with that 3-1 overall record, 2-1 in league play. They will have Anthony LaPlaca behind the plate, Garrett Brewer defensively at first, Chris Parker at second, Matt Sharon at shortstop, and Jeff McLaughlin at third base. Chad Ryan's in left field, Rob Dorrance your center fielder, and John Holtman is your right fielder. And again, Bennington Post 13 in their blue and gold uniforms come in with a 2-1 record, and they have at the plate John McFadden to be followed by the DH, Derek McDonald, and then Dan Lappin due up. That's the first three, and that's going to be caught by Brewer, and there's one down. And again, it's early season, but it is a league matchup, and it's an important game. Now McDonald, the DH, better known around the league and the state for his pitching, but starting with the bat tonight. And that loss suffered in league play was a 4-2 loss to Chester, a game that they committed 9 errors, Bennington I'm talking about, and they allowed 4 unearned runs. And of course, Rutland's loss came here on St. Peter's Field, 8-5. And that got the uniform. It's a hit batter, and Turner will have McDonald at first base. Brushed him on the uniform, and I'll bring up Dan Lappin now, the third baseman. So the first time in the ball game, we'll have a runner on. I'll force Turner to go to the stretch, and that'll have Garrett Brewer holding the runner on at first base. So we have a little line out to Brewer for the first out, then a hit batter, and here we are in the number 3 spot with Lappin, who's a very good hitter up there. The outfield shaded just a tad toward the left field line. And there's a strike called, runner not going on that first pitch. In that 8-5 loss to Hartford here that Rutland suffered, that's their only league loss. They had a win in a non-league situation, as you see McDonald back head of the throw to first, where they defeated Granville, Post 323. And they're coming off most recently a road victory over Bellows Falls, in which they're able to get the double digits in runs scored. They're able to really tack some offense on. And of course, their other one came here against Windsor, another league game. And that looks like it's going to carry out a play. Brewer will go over, and nope. You see it drop out of play, and Garrett Brewer will retrieve the ball, bring it back into play. Now, there has been a change on the Legion Post 31 schedule that you can either get in the paper, or you can get it on the radio, I guess, or you can just listen to 15 and pick up on it. But the game scheduled for July 20th has now been changed to July 10th. Still 5:30 start time, but instead of the 20th of July, it is the 10th of July. Turner and LaPlaca have a little conference. It's a 1-2 count, 1 out, 1 on. And if they're thinking pitch out, this would be a spot in that count to do that. We'll see what they were chatting about. So Turner just blew it by him. Just went fastball inside, tied up Lappin, struck him out. That's the first strikeout of the game, second out of the inning. Now Ken Boltson up, and he'll be the first baseman for Bennington. Ken Mark Upright, the head coach over at Bennington. Tony Sorelli, the head coach at Rutland. And like I said, teams that usually have excellent game. There goes the runner, throw down, and nope, he'll beat the throw. McDonald, extremely fast, good athlete. I started to say teams that play very emotional, very tense, sometimes chippy games that are always fun to watch, always close, tight games. So they bring their best out as far as playing up to the level of their competition, and their worst out sometimes in the fact that they get a little persnickety with each other, and that pitch will not get the call, and that makes Turner bounce up and down on the rubber, and it'll be a 1-1 count now. And they do take a step back, deeper in the outfield for Boltson, who's sitting in the cleanup spot. Actually, several steps back. And the website for PEGTV is easy, PEGTV.com. Boy, nice heat on the ball right there from Turner. And then he doesn't have the ball, and he'll be picked up by Matt Sharon. And I think what Mr. Turner's got is a hole in his glove. He's going to go get it repaired, and we'll have a 0-0 game. We're in the first inning. 2 down, runner on second, 1-2 the count, and we need some glove repair. Okay, so we've got this situation remedied, whether you went in and got deck tape or what, but he'll come again with that fastball. And he's been featuring that fastball a lot here in that first inning, and that's all right with me. He's 1 out away from getting out of this inning, straining a runner at second, not allowing a run. So Castleton College, Rob Turner, Rutland High School graduate, and that's going to be a chase and a half, and going to be a fair ball. That will drive the run in. Looks like it's going to become a double. Bolson heading to second base. A lot of steam going to pull up with a double. He'll put Bennington on the board first, 1-0 with a 2-out double. Nice clutch hit. Fought off a high fastball. So Bolson will get the first extra base hit of the game, and now Kyle Harris, who will be the pitcher when post 13, the Wild Bunch comes out to play defense in the bottom half of the first. There's a strike. So Turner was 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning unscathed, but it'll be 1-0. The Bennington squad, if you're just joining us, at the plate in those blue and gold uniforms, and that's going to be down to Parker. Gets a nice hop, stays with it, flips to Brewer, and that's the inning. But post 13 will have a 1-0 lead at the end of a half inning. Defensively for post 13 from Bennington, they'll have Kyle Harris on the mound. Mike Becker will be behind the dish. Ken Bolson with that RBI double will be at first base. John McFadden is the second. Kyle Madura is at short. Dan Lappin's the third baseman. Out in left field we have Sean Yost. Pete Estes is in center field, and Justin Parmenter is your right fielder. And I'd like to say a happy birthday to Linda LaBlaca today. I know we're tape delayed, but happy birthday, Linda. And many, many more today. I hope you have a great day. And leading off for Rutland Post 31 will be Rob Dorian, followed by Matt Sharon, then Jeff McLaughlin. And in that cleanup spot is Anthony LaPlaca. So things set to get underway here in the bottom half of the first. We're scheduled for 7 innings tonight. We'll play if we need to till darkness or till we have a winner. But that first pitch coming in is going to be low for a ball. And a good eye by Dorian. Lay off that pitch. So again, just to make note on your schedule change, the game for the July 20th, 5:30 start time. That's going to be through the hole, and a base hit for the leadoff hitter, Dorian. He'll get to the first base bag, take a turn, and now we'll see what Coach Shirley wants to do with the speedster down at first base and nobody down. Now Sharon up. He's got a lot of speed himself. It'll be tough to double up Dorian at first and Sharon at the plate. And also Sharon, extremely intelligent player, can control the strike zone and control that bat. And that's going to be outside for a ball. Sorry to say, just reminding you, July 20th is now a July 10th game, okay? So do note that. There's a throw to first. And boy, just back. That was a real decent move by the pitcher Harris out there. So Kyle Harris not wasting any time and showing his #1 move. Almost had the pickoff play. Both teams coming in with a league loss, and that'll be fouled out of play for a strike. If you don't have access to the internet, or say if you're just buzzing along in your car and you want to ask a question or request a duplication or get schedule information, you can just call channel 15 at 747-0151. And the staff there will take good care of you. And again, that time he's back safe. That's a good throw, though, right where the tag had to be down low, saving a few milliseconds off having to reach up if you're the first baseman and bring the ball down for a tag. You throw it right at the bag so he can catch and tag. And boy, went big old breaking ball there and got the strike call. Makes it 1 ball, 2 strikes to Sharon. McLaughlin on deck. And post 31 down a run here in the bottom of the first. Turner threw the ball extremely well in that first inning, and boy, just great location. Tailing away fastball to the right-handed hitter, and Sharon will wave at it and be a strikeout victim. Now a guy who's just been having started off the season swinging the bat well and just continues on here swinging the bat well, nearing the quarter of the way through the season mark, is Jeff McLaughlin, third baseman. He'll step in obviously from that right side, and Harris from the stretch. Great location again, outside corner fastball. Yeah, and exactly, I can hear Coach Jeff Brewer talking about going with the pitch. He's going to throw outside there and get that, consistently painting that corner. And that's going to be a base hit, and that'll move the runner to second, and Dorian will put the brakes on and duck down out of the way of the throw. And a solid hit again by Jeff McLaughlin. So he just continues to be seeing the ball and hitting the ball very well here for post 31. Runners at first and second, and one out for Anthony LaPlaca, the catcher and the cleanup hitter. He'll step in there with a chance to get this thing tied up or give Rutland the lead. After LaPlaca, Chris Parker on deck. And so each pitcher's had to pitch from the stretch in their first inning of work, and that will be too far inside. It doesn't matter where it broke into the catcher's glove. It did wrap around the inside corner of the plate and missed it, and it'll be a ball one. So right now we're looking at a pitcher, Harris, who's thrown both the fastball and the curveball as his two pitches here in the first inning, and done a good job with them. He's got a strikeout. And the other problem, though, you flip that coin over, he's got two runners on because of two base hits. And that'll miss a little bit high and outside and bring a few oohs and ahs from the Bennington crowd. Not only do the teams and the coaches have a little feud in their blood for this game, but the fans get into it too, and that makes it kind of fun, even though there's hardly any fans here. But what is here, they enjoy it. And that'll be low, and all of a sudden you'll go to a 3-ball, no strike count. This would load the bases now if they walk them. Also, don't forget though, 3-0, sometimes you see your best pitch in the sequence of pitches right here, and you'll see that pitch hit the outside corner again where Harris has been living out there. Makes it 3 balls and 1 strike to the cleanup hitter, Anthony LaPlaca. Thank you very much. So with a 3-1 count, the pitch on the way, and that's going to be out of play. So LaPlaca saw one he liked. I like the fact that they didn't glue the bat to his shoulder. And I'd like to thank the Post 31 American Legion for allowing me to do these games, and for the concessions people from Post 31 for always making sure I got a cold drink of water. Thank you very much. Oh, he didn't get fooled bad on that curveball. He got it up and into the left field area, and there's the catch for the second out. And Dorian will fake going to third, draw the throw to the cutoff, and there'll be 2 down now on that fly out. That was a big out to get right there. Now Parker up with 2 down, 2 on, and I didn't mention that was Sean Yost who made that catch, and he's got the sun field right now. Or actually through the rest of the game, unless we go into the dusk hours. So Parker, who's been a clutch player, whether he's been in the field, on the mound, or the bat up there with a chance to spray the ball just like that, pick up an RBI, and yeah, they're going to score 1 run. And to throw to third, McLaughlin, smart base running. He'll go to third, but the run comes across. It's an RBI with 2 down now. That's a big clutch hit by Mr. Parker, who's going to have to change his name to Mr. Clutch. Or actually, Clutch Hitter would sound better. So 3 singles, a strikeout, and a flyout in this inning. And now the 6th hitter to come to the plate, Chad Ryan, the left fielder. The Mill River student. Be a senior this year, and nice young guy to talk to, smart guy, got a good sense of humor, got some tremendous academics too. And yet I'm not really sure. Yeah, that had to be a balk. There you go. I didn't hear anybody holler, and that will force a run in. The go-ahead run will come in on a balk, and what happened is he went to throw to first, and nobody was on the bag. First and third was the situation. Now Parker goes down to second base. McLaughlin came in to score. It's 2-1 Rutland, and this is shaping up to be a dandy. And that could be playable. No, I think it actually went in to, yeah, the Post 31 dugout. Now the reason I say that with a little amazement in my voice is, yes, I'm ignorant, but also between the overhang of the roof over there and the chain link fence, there's probably 18 inches of space, which is kind of mind-blowing. You think of how big the field is that it found that space to get in there. So we will now have an 0-1 count after all that to Chad Ryan. He made a very exciting foul ball strike. 2-1 Rutland, Post 31, and that's where Harris has been doing his most damage, right out there on the outside corner with that fastball. Both base hits, both of the last 2 base hits have been on breaking balls. And he'll come back, and come a breaking ball there and have the batter, Ryan, step back out of the way and have a 1-2 count. And on deck is Garrett Brewer. If they can push it to another hitter here in the bottom of the first. And that definitely looks to be playable. McFadden says he's got it, and I believe him, and he does. And 2 runs for Rutland. An RBI by Parker, and then the block, and we'll go to the top of the second. 2-1, post 31. So the catcher for post 13 coming up to the plate to start off the second inning. It'll be Mike Becker, Justin Parmenter, and then Kyle Madura all due up. And if they get to that last the number 4 spot here, that'd be the last man in the order, it'd be Sean Yost. Turner and LePlac will have one last little chat before they get things going here, but Turner threw the ball very well. He had a strikeout, gave up the double, hit a batter. It's the hit batter that came around to score. And also, don't forget the stolen base by McDonald, who was the hit batter in that inning. I don't believe he would have scored if he had not stolen the base. And he came up and inside with a little chin music, and it'll be ball 1. And Becker is a good hitter in this middle of the order. He does a good job right there, and he will get a piece of that, and everybody going for it, and nope. Ran out of real estate. It'll just be a long strike. Everybody got a little exercise chasing after it. And we have that same outfield. Chad Ryan's in left, Rob Dorian's in center, John Holtman out there in right field. Very solid, very good outfield out there for post 31. And infield not too bad themselves. Brewer at first, Parker at second, Sharon at short, and McLaughlin at third. LePlac behind the plate, and that's going to be a base hit. And that'll be picked up, and they're going to send him. Nope, I hear everybody saying take 2, and he didn't. He stayed at first base. So the catcher Becker will be on first base with nobody down. And that changes the whole dynamics of an inning. If you can get that leadoff hitter on, it gives you a runner at first base or further with nobody down. Now Parmenter up in a 2-1 game with Rutland with the lead. Top of the second, going to go 7. There'll be no mercy rule. The weather's going to definitely cooperate tonight. It won't be thunder showers till after midnight, and by that point, we'll all be long gone here from St. Peter's Field. Foul tip caught strike, and that's going to be a wild pitch on a breaking ball that didn't reach the plate, and it'll be retrieved by LaPlaca. But the important thing there, runner moves up to second base without having to sacrifice him over. And so Parmenter with a chance here to actually give him the lead with a home run, but he's got a chance to tie it up with a runner down second base in scoring position. And if they want to play a little small ball, they can, but the game looks like it's going to be a crazy one, not one of those where you play for a 1-0, 3-2, 2-1 game. That's going to be outside. And we'll have a 2-ball, 1-strike count, and that outfield pretty much straight up right now. Actually, they look to be a little bit deep for the standard player, and that's going to be a foul ball down the third baseline, so that'll be a strike. And again, got the Channel 15 website, www.pegtv.com. Mike Valentine, the executive director. Tommy Leipold is the program director at Channel 15. And it's going to be picked up, and they'll flip to the pitcher covering the bag. We'll have a 3-1 ground out, and a runner smartly will move up to third base with 1 out. And what does that mean? That means a deep enough fly ball will score him. A ground ball possibly could score him. An error will definitely score him. That's how big that wild pitch was. So here we go now with Kyle Madura up. And they'll come in high for a ball. Madura is your shortstop. And he will be followed by Yost, barring a miraculous double play here. Oh, nice pitch. Froze him. He couldn't pull the trigger. He started with the bat, couldn't pull the trigger, and that'll even it up now. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bennington looking for the tying run. It's down at third base right now. They want to push it across the plate. And good pitch again. Great location. That's that knee-high inside fastball with some espresso on it, and it's a good pitch. So Turner with a 1-2 count. Went right back to the heater. I like the idea. He did miss high, obviously, but I like the fact he didn't mess around. Came to looking for the punch-out pitch. So with a 2-2 count, Turner working with a pretty good pace right now, and he will strike him out. big strikeout with 1 down and a runner at third. He gets the second out on the strikeout, which obviously means the runner didn't advance. Now Yost up with 2 down. Yost again, right-handed pitcher, right-handed hitter. Good pitch. Tell you what, he's working that inside corner, and that's not a bad move ever to do that. Got an 0-1 count right now, and Turner catching and firing. He missed, but I liked it. He came back with a high fastball, and you could see that Yost was thinking about going up on chasing that one. He just didn't commit to a good job by Yost. Good eye right there, good discipline. And the pitch on the way from Rob Turner is going to be fouled out for strike 2. And he'll be up in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes, and I think that's just so undervalued a stat, but it's a pitcher's delight. Now if he wants to get clever or cute or throw something fancy here, this is where you can do it with a 1-2 count. Don't know about Rob's changeup, but if he's got one as a catcher, I always liked it right here, especially after such a dose of fastballs to this point. To Sharon, he's going to make the long throw. He's going to get it. They'll strand the runner at third. 2-1 Rutland. Big Garrett Brewer out there to get this bottom of the second started for Rutland. Be his first time up. He'll be followed by John Holtman, and the DH today, Mike Sorelli. And that is a lift. That is back and going to be caught just shy by about 8 feet of going to the 310 marker. So Brewer lifted a rocket out to left field, but it'll be a long out. So 1 down, nobody on, and Holtman up from the left side. Like I said, the only true left-handed hitter in that post 31 roster. Actually in the organization, I believe. Yeah, it's going to be low for a ball, and Holtman has bunt, like he showed a bunt there. He has bunted very well for sacrifices and base hits this year. A lot of speed out of the box. He'll miss that attempt, and we'll have a 1-1 count. So Brewer with that deep, deep fly out. Nice catch out there by Yost for Bennington, and there's 1 down. It's going to be a foul ball out into the bleachers. And let's just go back to the bottom half of the first. Actually, the top half of the second inning. Bennington with a runner at third base, and that very nice play by Matt Sharon at shortstop, knowing to come up with the ball, but then make the long, accurate throw, and that allowed the run not to score, and was the 3rd out. So Sharon flashing some of that athletic ability that I spoke about earlier in the game right there. 2-2 the count on that ball. Last pitch was a ball. Well, I'll tell you what, Harris had a little stare in there at the home base umpire, and that was a 50-50 pitch right there. That could have gone either way to Holtman. 3-2 the count. Holtman now. We'll get it down to short. Little Prom picking up. Madura. Nice fire. Big pickup right there by Boltzmann, too, the first baseman. So Boltzmann with a nice scoop. Madura with a nice throw, and there's 2 down. Now Mike Sorelli getting a chance to DH tonight. We've seen Mike play a little third base, but pitch quite a bit early season action. Early season, we're nearing the quarter-way mark already of this Legion season. Regular season. But Sorelli's just done a fantastic job on the mound for post 31, and he'll look at that pitch, go outside for a ball. Good eye right there by Sorelli. And that will drop in there ever so slightly, gingerly, nicely placed, little soft breaking ball for a 1-1 count. All weekday games, that's a swinging strike on a curveball. All weekday games are 5:30 start times. The weekends are all noon. And there's a couple double headers coming up. And he'll strike him out, and we'll stay tied. We're not tied at all. It's 2-1 Rutland as we go to the 3rd inning. Top of the order back around here in the top of the 3rd for Bennington. McFadden, who lined out to Brewer at first base, up at the plate, 0 for 1 today. And a curveball didn't curve enough. It'll be high for a ball. Turner with 2 well-placed strikeouts in the game. Did hit a batter. That became the only run for Bennington, and it'll be inside for a ball. 2-0 the count to McFadden with Derek McDonald, the on-deck hitter. He is the DH. for post 13. And Turner, boy, not what you want to do. He's down 3-0 to the leadoff batter here. Is not only get the leadoff batter on, but do it with a walk. At least if they get a base hit, you feel like they've earned it. And there's the meatball on a 3-0 count for a 3-ball, 1-strike count now. Turner and LaPlaca set up on an outside target, and he threw a 3-1 breaking ball. Whew. Not sure about that, but it'll turn into his first walk, and now McDonald up. So McDonald's first at bat, and actually his only at bat to this point. He was just ever so slightly brushed on the shirt sleeve with a pitch. He stole second base after and scored on the double by Boltson. They showed bunt. Pitch was high. He pulled the bat back, and the runner did not go. So a lot happened on the play that just became ball one. Now McDonald with a little extra time looking down at the third base coach. See what they have in the little bag of tricks here, and that's going to be low, ball 2. So Turner all of a sudden throwing 7 pitches this inning, 6 of them balls. After being up in the count the last inning, he's now been behind the first 2 batters here. Drops down 3/4 sidearm, pops a pitch in there, and have a 2-1 count on a strike called. So Turner now trying to get the count all back to even. McDonald, a very, very good hitter. There is a thrower to first, and the runner will scamper back. That's McFadden over at first base. Remember, he walked on a 3-1 curveball. And Turner this time will just step off the rubber. The runner will go back, tag up, and McDonald will step out of the batter's box. Reorganize, and we are hopefully good to go here on this pitch. Long stare in, and he'll come in high again. Boy, he has been missing high. And it is definitely a mechanical thing. It's just a matter of the follow through and then the fade to first base. He's not following through all the way, which is simple as arching your back and coming toward home plate with your finish. And they're going to at least get one. There's one, and a throw to first. They got him! Double play! Oh my goodness! Oh, they turned a big pro double play, and give Brewer a lot of credit for the stretch, but Sharon for coming across the bag with a strong throw. And they will have a 4-6-3 double play. Well, I'll tell you what, that is a hard man to double up. McDonald running down the line. Now lapping up. He struck out back in the first inning. So a double play, a 4-6-3 double play from Parker to Sharon to Brewer. And that brought quite a rouse from the dugout from post 31. He'll miss high. So Turner, who has not been sharp here in the third inning, has gotten helped out by his defense. His ratio of balls to strikes heavily favoring balls. Nah, it's going to be fouled. I don't believe it's going to be catchable. Good run, but it's going to be a foul ball. You see Holtman hustling after it over there. So we'll set. That defense again of Brewer at first, Parker at second, Sharon at short, McLaughlin at third, LaPlaca behind the plate, and that's right off the front foot with the weight there and fouled it straight back. And Dorian's your center fielder. Chad Ryan's in left, and John Holtman is in right field. And of course, 21, just about to turn his back to you, is the pitcher, Rob Turner. In a game that features 2 good old rivals, Bennington and Rutland. And that, boy, he liked those last 2 pitches. He had a beat on them and followed them both back with some authority, and that'll be lapping up there, swinging for the fences. This inning started off with McFadden getting a walk, and then McDonald hitting in that 4-6-3 double play. That'll be low for a ball. And Rutland taking a 2-1 lead out of the bottom of the first. We're in the top of the third. Going to go 7 or more. That's going to be to Sharon. Gets a big old charity hop. He'll make the throw, and there's the inning. Faced 3 batters with the help of the double play. Stays 2-1 Rutland going in the bottom of the third. So Rutland will be at the top of their order here in the bottom of the third. Rob Dorian up, and he has singled and scored a run so far in the ball game, and that's a little excuse me check swing back to Harris. He'll flip the first and an easy 1-3 ground out. Dorian kind of checked to swing, and Harris got the benefits of it and quick out. Matt Sharon up, and he struck out his only time up, but boy, has he been doing it out in the field. It's made two stupendous plays so far in the ball game from the shortstop position, and that curveball fell off the table too early, and it'll be a 1-0 count. 1 ball, no strikes. The wind up and the pitch too far outside again, and Sharon now in the driver's seat with a 2-0 count. Kyle Harris working very well with Mike Becker behind the plate. And that's going to be down the line. Again, each team came in with 1 league loss. Bennington losing, giving up 4 unearned runs to Chester, post 67. They had 9 errors in the ball game. Bennington did. That was their only league loss. They swept Woodstock in a doubleheader. And another little check swing, excuse me, that's going to be bobbled around, and boy, they just get him. Oh, and did the runner ran over accidentally Bolson's foot on the bag at first base, and boy, it looks like he's going to be okay, but that's a good way to get ligament damage in your ankle. I know it's accidental, but ooh, that hurts just to watch. Now Jeff McLaughlin up. He singled in a run and scored eventually himself, so he's got 2 runs scored tonight, 1 on RBI and 1 on a run he came around and scored. So he's up there with 2 down and nobody on base in the bottom of the third. And Kyle Harris looking real sharp this third inning. Nice pitch, but a better job of Becker, the catcher, out there kind of sliding it in a few inches to freeze it and frame it for the umpire to call the strike. That's going to be his second hit of the ball game. It's going to be right up the middle. And it's going to be bobbled around, and McLaughlin will hold up at first base with a 2-for-2 night so far. Yeah, he's coming off big performances all season long. Like I said, he started off the season hot with the bat, and he's shown no symptoms of a letdown at all. Now LaPlaca up, he flied out to left field where Yost made the catch on him for the out. So with 2 down, will they send McLaughlin? He'll draw some attention there from the pitcher, Harris, and he'll throw it to first base. And now he'll get set again from the stretch on the rubber. And at the plate, LaPlaca playing spring ball at Hamilton College. And there's the throw down, and yeah, McLaughlin there in plenty of time. That's a nice throw, though, by Becker, the catcher. Had a lot of pop on the ball and good accuracy. So in a game that going to be tight right through. It's going to get tense at the end. The Placa will pop it up, and Lappin says he's got it, and why doubt him? He does. Third out. That'll strand 1. They will have a 2-1 game going into the 4th. Rutland with the lead. For Bennington, it's going to be Bolson, Harris, and Becker. The scheduled 3 here as we're nearing the midway point. And again, nice job right there with that pitch outside away from the power hitting Bolson. Remember, he had that double that scored Bennington's only run back in the first inning, and he drove that ball. That was a good shot he had. Oh, nice mix up of pitches there. He went to just a crisp, snapping curveball, and he's up 0-2 now in the count. Turner will miss, slowing outside. Try to keep the ball away. That's a good idea. And he's got 2 strikeouts in the game, and his team's turned a double play for him. He's given up the double in the first, along with a hit batter. He's walked 1 batter and gave up a single in the last inning. And that looks like Holtman's got a good look at it. And John Holtman, very reliable out there, will make the catch for the first out as that ball goes to right field. And Holtman didn't have to stare into that sun either out there. It's a hot night. It's a humid night. It's not Texas hot, but it's hot. Kyle Harris up. He grounded out to Chris Parker at second base. Getting his second look now through the order at Turner. I think when you look at this pitching staff for Rutland Post 31, it's got a nice mix of veterans out there. Turner and Pamacala come right to mind. And then that's going to be a ground ball picked up by Sharon. He'll throw it up first, and boy, he's getting a lot of assist and put outs tonight. 2 down now. I started to say, then you mix in a Pace, who's a underclassman, or not graduate, and he's thrown, like the Windsor game, he threw very, very well. And then you start looking at the youngsters, like Sorelli's come in and pitched well this season. Chad Ryan's thrown the ball well, and you start thinking, you know, if they can really gel and get set by the end of the season, they could be the guys you're looking at saying, what a pitching staff, or a pitching staff. There's a G at the end of that. And that pitch, breaking ball called strike one. That'll miss a little bit too far outside, and be 1-1 to Becker. Becker had a single back in the second inning. Ended up stranding him at third base. That's the play that Sharon made a nice play on deep in the hole. That'll be 2-1 count. As that pitch just missed. Rob Turner will induce a ground ball to McLaughlin. He'll play it and fire and have it. And that's going to be the inning. A nice inning of work for Turner and Rutland. And we'll go to the bottom of the fourth. 2-1 Rutland with lead. Chris Pracker, an RBI single up to start things off in the bottom of the fourth, and a good eye right there, laying off from Kyle Harris pitch. That was a fastball low and inside. Parker, just a good all-around athlete. You know, just everything he's been involved in. He's a good guy to have on your team, too, as far as chemistry. Gets along with everybody. Funny guy. You know, jokes around. Good sense of humor. But just sails along a nice, even keel. Got a 1-1 count right now as far as balls and strikes go to the leadoff hitter Chris Parker here in the bottom of the fourth. The Post 31 squad, I said Parker had an RBI, and then on the ensuing hitter in the next pitch there was a balk called, and that's how the go-ahead run came in. And there's a lot of ball game left to go, but just to play hypothetical stuff and what ifs and looking too far down the road, wouldn't that be something if they ended up 2-1 and the winning run came on a balk in the first inning? We're in the fourth, bottom of the fourth to be exact. And Parker awaits Kyle Harris's offerings, and he'll walk. Not a good guy to walk. He's got some juice in those legs. He can get them going down that field for ability to either sacrifice him or base hit. He can take third base on an extra base, on an extra attempt there with the turning the afterburners on. He can steal. Chad Ryan up. He popped up to second baseman. John McFadden now. There are holding a runner on at first base defensively with Boltson. Nobody down and Parker over at first. There's the sacrifice, and it's a beauty. One place to go. That's the first, and job well done. Chad Ryan laying down a perfect and unselfish sacrifice bunt. Now Garrett Brewer up, and remember he hit that towering deep fly ball just shy of the wall in left field. So Brewer with one down and Parker at second base and John Holtman on deck. So Rutland looking to get a little padding in that 2-1 lead here. As Rob Turner, their pitcher, has been firing a good ball game and just nice, good old-fashioned heat. That's Tabasco sauce heat right there. That was in there. Swinging miss as he challenged him with the fastball. And boy, nice job of laying off on that chin-high pitch right there, and they'll make it a 1-1 count. You're watching Public Access Television, Channel 15 Sports, Community TV. Website's PEGTV.com. And yeah, the runner was back. That's why I didn't bother to show you that play. That was just the old turn around and fake it, and the runner got back, and we just stay now at 1-1 in balls and strikes. And boy, he held up. They're going to appeal it, but he held up and be a 2-ball. Oh my goodness, they called that. They did call that a strike. Well, see if Brewer can overcome that questionable check swing strike on a 1-2 count. I got to tell you what, that's a makeup call right there. That's 2 balls, 2 strikes now, and that's probably where they would have ended up anyways. So 2 balls, 2 strikes to Garrett Brewer as he is set, and the pitch on the way is going to be popped up, and it definitely looks to be playable. Everybody going after it. The catcher, oh, what a nice athletic catch. Oh, Becker showing you why the catchers are the most gifted athletes on the field. And that's 2 down. That's a big get. Runner can't advance, stays at second. And Holtman, who grounded out to the shortstop, Madura. And they're deep at the corners. And you know what? You just don't see people lay one down right here in situations like this. You wouldn't score the run, but you'd prolong the inning and bring around the top of the order. Plus put a base runner on. Breaking ball, inside corner, strike 1. But Lappin down at third base is even with the bag, and Holtman from that left side, he's going to be able to get a couple extra seconds there, milliseconds out of the box if he laid one down, and that'll fade outside. We'll have a 1-1 count. Rob Dorian on deck has had a single, scored a run, and grounded out to the pitcher. So he's made contact out there. Actually, it's not. It's Mike Sorelli up there on deck. I apologize. He's the DH. And that's what happens sometimes when you can't read your own writing. So it will be Sorelli on deck. Holtman with a 2-1 count. Oh, he liked that. That was one of those shoulder-high pitches that all the batters like. And it went right straight back on a horizontal strike. Retrieved by Becker. And Parker still down there at first base. Parker with a single and a walk tonight. Been on base both times. Looking to come around this time. It's 2-1 Rutland, post 31 over Bennington, post 13. American Legion baseball action from St. Peter's Field. I'll tell you what, he did not miss by much on that pitch. I know the body language of the hitter, he turned away, but that ball was not that far inside. And so, with a full count now, 3 balls, 2 strikes. That's going to be a nice snag. Oh, he timed it. Madura just faded back to the edge of the grass, went up, made the catch, and that'll do the inning. 2-1 Rutland. They'll strand Parker at second base. Well, it'll be Justin Parmenter, Kyle Madura, and Sean Yost, 7, 8, 9 hitters in that Bennington lineup. Then top of the order, back to McFadden. It's 2-1, and Turner doing a nice job tonight, cruising along. And Holtman tracks the ball so well. He's just really solidifies. I mean, he's played every game out there in right field. He's just solid, just like Dorian. Adds a whole new dimension to him defensively out in center field. And defensively right now, post 31 with the team, like with Sharon at short, McLaughlin at third, Chris Parker down at second. I mean, they got a good defensive team. And then you put an experienced pitcher like Turner out there on the mound, and you got the making of a contender. Now Madura up. And that came a little bit too inside for Madura's likings as he jackknifed back. He struck out back in the second inning. He's got Yost on deck. Madura only the second time through the order here in the top of the 5th. Look at the pitches by Turner. Turner has hit a batter and walked a batter, and he has struck out 2. Both strikeouts coming back in the first 2 innings. Whoa, didn't get the call there on that low strike, and it'll be 3 balls, 1 strike. So 3-1 here. You just got to kind of take it 1 pitch at a time. And he will walk him, so he'll issue the walk, and I'll double check my book, but I have that as only the second walk given up by Turner, because he did hit a batter, but that's different than a 4-ball walk. Now Yost up, he grounded out to Matt Sharon, the shortstop. Now don't forget, post 31's already turned a very spectacular double play, a 4-6-3 double play to be exact. 5th inning, 2-1 Rutland, and they're going to have a chat. Don't forget, Bennington scored first in the top half of the 1st, and then Rutland answered with a couple of runs, the last scoring on a balk that allowed the runner to go from 1st to 2nd and from 3rd to home. And I can only imagine what they're talking about. I'm not sure, but I would imagine it had to be with the runner at first base, maybe talking pitch outs or whatever. Or the fact maybe he doesn't want to go as many breaking balls here with the runner at first base. He wants more of a chance to throw the runner out. Or you could be talking about that right here. And they'll go foul. Boy, there's some English on that ball. Oplaka smartly and with all that experience, maturity, just let the ball play itself right out of play for a foul ball. And that will send Madura back to first base and bring the batter, Yost, back into the box. So try and play a little small ball here. I mean, I didn't think at first a 2-1 game score would hold up this far into the game, but it has, and it's looking like it could be one of those 7th inning nail-biting 3-2 type of games. But they're playing for this sacrifice right here, which is also strange with one down. There's a throwback. Runner will be okay. Tag applied anyways. Never a bad idea. So maybe he was actually bunting for a base hit right there. And pitch coming in. Going to be too high. Shoulder high. It'll be ball. 1-1 to count. We're in the top of the 5th. You're watching Channel 15 Sports, Public Access Television, PEGTV. You can also tune in to the Education Channel, Channel 20, and then the Government Channel, Channel 21. They all have valuable things to watch on it. And that's going to be to Chad Ryan, and oh, he misplayed the ball. He got a little casual with the glove, went down with the one hand, and he'll quickly get it in, but that will be an error, and a costly error, as runners move up to 2nd and 3rd now instead of 1st and 2nd. There's a big difference in 2nd and 3rd, 1st and 2nd. Now McFadden up. He has lined out to 1st and walked. And only 1 down. Well, Ryan charged the ball, but then he just kind of casually went down with the one glove, and the ball rolled underneath him, and everybody moved up. And now Turner with a 1-0 count. Just 2 strikeouts to this point. He'd love number 3 right here, but this is a tough man to strike out. Nice stop by LaPlaca, and 2 balls, no strikes. Big moment coming in the 5th here in a 2-1 game. Rutland with the lead. Each team with 1 league loss. Foul ball, strike caught by LaPlaca. 2 balls, 1 strike. That was just a good old-fashioned fastball. He just kind of wound up, heaved back, and threw the thing as hard as he could and got it past the hitter, McFadden, who is the 2nd baseman for Bennington. Went curveball. Parker's going to charge. He's coming home, and this is a tag play, and he got him. Chris Parker, there's that experience, babe, right there. There he is, the big stud. He's having a good day with the glove. He came in, charged the ball, never hesitated, and then the best part, he took just enough settling down time so that he threw a strike home. A lot of times you see everybody make the play right. Where they'll come in, they'll charge the ball, make the play, and then be so tense or gung-ho or whatever that they'll throw the ball away or make a bad throw home. That time, everything just worked perfect, and Parker, again, showing you why he's easy to brag about out there. Runner going, they're going to throw down. Now, there's the cutoff by Sharon. I was as shocked as anybody. So they'll concede the base to McFadden. They tried to sucker the runner at 3rd base into taking off. That takes away the force out at 2nd base. And Derek McDonald's up. I forgot to mention that. He's been hit by a pitch and hit into a double play. He's got a chance to give his team the lead here, as they have runners at 2nd and 3rd. And LaPlaca talking to Turner. And there are 2 down, though. Very precarious, too. That ball called a strike. It's 0-1 the count to McDonald. Like I said, Derek McDonald, well known around New England for his pitching ability. Just an outstanding pitcher. I enjoy watching him pitch. Plays shortstop position well and swings the bat well. And that'll be held up for a ball. They make it a 1-1 count, and Turner. Now, you see, Turner didn't make an attempt at that. LaPlaca and him could have been talking about that. That could be a set play, because Sharon right there to charge the ball. I'm not joking. That could have been a sucker play set up where they try to draw the runner off the bag. Nice pitch. That was an excellent pitch. That'll be strike 2, 1-2 the count. Now, you know, with a 1-2 count, you're thinking he's going to throw a changeup or a breaking ball. I'd like to see him come back with a high fastball, but, you know, really, who am I? Nobody. He came back with a high fastball. He just missed. He had the, I think that was the right idea. Now at 2-2. As a hitter, now you got to be thinking fastball at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Big moment, pitch on the way. Got him with the fastball. Oh, yeah, what a time to pull back and fire. He'll strike out McDonald. Strand runners at 2nd and 3rd. 2-1 Rutland going in the bottom of the 5th. It'll be the DH, Mike Sorelli, stepping in there against Kyle Harris. And Harris has done a nice job, as has Turner. Both pitchers have come in and pitched very well tonight. They've gotten themselves out of jams when necessary and been in control most of the game. Game moving right along as far as amount of tape used to tape the game. That's going to be up the middle. Great try by Madura, but you'll see the center fielder just picked the ball up now, and Sorelli will come back and have a base hit to start off the bottom of the fifth. Now Sorelli got a lot of speed. It'll be interesting to see if they want to sacrifice Dorian, because he's got a single tonight and he's been hot in the last 3 games, especially the last 3 games in stroking the ball. But again, 2-1, and it's getting late in the game. We're in the bottom of the fifth. Could be time for a little insurance run, a little small ball, try and move that runner across, because of course on deck you have Matt Sharon. If you put a runner at second, 1 down, and Sharon up there, you got to like your odds. Whoa, just dared him. Just wound up. That was challenging the hitter right there. When you hear that phrase, challenging the hitter, you just saw it by Harris. I'm very impressed with Kyle Harris tonight. 0-1 the count. Pitch on the way. Runner at first. Went away, and a throw. We'll come back. Sorelli will get back in plenty of time. Of course, he's the son of head coach Tony Sorelli. I always think that's neat chemistry, father-son, especially at this level when they get to playing for each other and coach for each other. And he'll be back safe. That was a decent move by Harris. Showed him his A move right there. I coached my son, and I enjoyed it. I don't know if my son did, but we talk now. He's 24 now. We talk about it, and he sounds like he had a good time. That's right off the fist. And comes right down to Lappin. That is a tremendous get. Well, I guess kind of answers. Hindsight coaching is the easiest thing to do after something happens. I guess a bunt wouldn't have been bad there. Now Matt Sharon up. He has struck out and ground out to the pitcher, Harris. Now I'm thinking, instead of wasting a bat to advance the runner here, why not let them go on a steal? Sorelli will be back. And said Sorelli with a good set of wheels on him. And the pitch coming in now after the throw to first. Runner is back safe, and that'll be handcuffing the catcher. That's an awkward way to catch. But mentioning my son Matthew, like I said, he a sad day in my life, a big day in his day today. He moved to Long Island, New York. Had a chance at some opportunities, and he wanted to give it a chance. But it's always tough to see. You know the day comes when your child, or adult child, moves away, but it was a depressing, sad day for me. It's kind of lingered over, kind of a melancholy. I was up for the game, but still feeling a little melancholy. Oh, that's got a chance to slice away from Parmenter. He'll reach out with that big old arm of his and make a nice grab on the ball that sliced away, and that would have been all kinds of problems for him, but nice catch. But just in case people had forgotten, I like to mention it because he is my son. Now McLaughlin up with 2 for 2 today. He's got his RBI, he scored a run, he's got 2 singles. But my son for many years was a CIP community volunteer, taping tons of events for Channel 15 and doing a spectacular job. In 1 year, during the annual meeting awards at PEGTV, he won the Cameraman of the Year award for his work. He also, a following year, won his award for editing of a video production. And he had clips from the MSJ football seasons when we were still allowed to tape MSJ football. Runner going there is to throw down, and boy, he is out by a mile. Adios, good night. Nice throw by Becker. Sorelli's gone. We go to the 6th, 2-1 Rutland. But Matt had footage clips sent in and aired on ESPN twice and on Nesson a couple times. So that was a big thrill. But he moved on me. He grew up. He missing a good game tonight, guy. Dan Lappin up, and he has struck out and grounded out to Matt Sharon at shortstop. And we're in the 6th, scheduled for 7. It's flown by. Hey, going back to that steal attempt, and they threw Sorelli out. Really not a bad deal all the way around. We'll wait for this pitch from Turner. That's not what he wanted to do. Hit his second batter of the night. And that puts the tying run at first base. We're getting back to the bottom half of the 5th. If Sorelli makes it to second, great. You've got a runner in scoring position and your hottest hitter at the plate in McLaughlin. If they throw him out, worst case is you got McLaughlin leading off in the bottom of the 6th. Nothing wrong with that either. Now Ken Boltson up. He's got the only RBI on a double back in the first for post 13. He's also flied out to John Holtman in right field. But see what? There's got to be something in the running game right now. And that's going to be catchable by Dorian. He'll gank it. He is so automatic. I mean, he's such a good fielder. Really, they really missed him in the Hartford game, being able to play all the time in the outfield. He split duty mostly on the infield that game. That's going to be a fly out. It's a well-hit ball, but it's flied out to Rob Dorian. Now Kyle Harris up. He's grounded out twice. Once to Chris Parker at second and one to Matt Sharon at short. Started to say, though, they let him swing away in the 6th inning, 2-1. You really haven't done a lot off from Turner, but you really haven't disrupted his rhythm. You haven't bunted on him, make him get off the mound and kind of break up his rhythm. When you have gotten runners on, you haven't tried to steals, make him, you know, get distracted mentally. I mean, they really haven't done a lot with the running game, and that surprises me, Bennington. You think they would try to, especially with no outs and runner at first, you would have thought they would try something at that point. That's going to be that curveball he's had a little problem with tonight. Oh, by far, his fastball has been his best pitch, no doubt about it, in my opinion, which means squat. My opinion, you could save up a bunch of it, put it in your vegetable garden, and it would grow tomatoes for you. That's about what it's worth. But there's another breaking ball breaking outside too far, and they'll be 2-0 in the count. And this isn't the time in the 6th inning to get finicky and cute and throw a bunch of junk. He's had success throwing the heat. Harris with 2 groundouts has got Becker on deck, and I'd much rather get Harris than Becker. There's the fastball, and what do you do? Threw a strike. Because Becker has been hitting the ball very well tonight. So runner down at first, and he's going to tickle Chindler there and make it 3 balls, 1 strike. Now, I got to be honest with you. I don't know the pitch count, but just by the expedience of the game, he's been efficient. I can't see that being a big number right now. Nice job tying him up with that fastball. 3-2 full count. He's had 3 strikeouts in the game, but they've been really sprinkled. He hasn't strung together a lot of strikeouts. He'd like one right here. He's got it playable. Dorian, Robbie will find it, make the catch. Second out, caught by Dorian this inning. And that's 2 big outs. And again, the runner stayed at first. They have not tried to sacrifice him over, hit and run with him. They haven't tried to straight steal. And now Becker up. He has singled and a hard ground ball to McLaughlin at third base. So he's 1 for 2. And Bennington, if you look at what, say the inning ends here. They're at the lower half of their order in the 7th. And Holtman, he's got it. You can tell by the way he's moving. There's the catch, and they waste that hit batter with nobody out at first. Never moved any further than first. And boy, that could come back to be a question mark at the end of the game. 2-1 Rutland going in the bottom of the 6th. So here we go in the bottom of the 6th. And you know Rutland would love to add 1 or 2 runs there. McLaughlin, first ball hitting, will fly out, and Parmenter will make the catch in right field. So that right there is crucial, I thought, and it happened for Bennington. That's a good thing for Bennington. They get McLaughlin out and the leadoff batter out, and they have 1 down in the 6th. Nobody on base. Now the Plaque up. He has flied out to the third baseman his last time up, and then the first inning he flied out to left field where Yost caught it. Now, just going back to the Bennington half of this inning, they got a hit batter. He was at first base. He's a guy who had pretty decent speed. Never moved him over with a bunt or a stealer, and he just kind of planted himself. There's time asked for and granted to the hitter, LaPlaca. Now, I'm a big believer. If you don't have, you know, David Ortiz and Manny Ramirez and A-Rod and all those guys in your lineup, you got to think about, especially if you only scored 1 run to this point and haven't really pressured the pitcher, like post 13 hasn't pressured post 31's Rob Turner. You got to make it happen. You got to manufacture it. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Bottom of the 6th, scheduled for 7. Hope you've enjoyed this Legion Baseball action brought to you by Channel 15. And 3 balls, 1 strike to LaPlaca. It'll be interesting, too. Say if Anthony walks here, will they bring in the courtesy runner? I mean, I think it'd be I hate saying a no-brainer, because then if he doesn't do it, I look goofy, but he hasn't walked yet either, so. And that's going to save that from becoming a bad moment. He'll get it to second, and it's going to be an error. And he's safe. Yeah, LaPlaca, he chugged it as hard as he could down the line, and that's a good call by the official. And again, it's those little things add up to big things. That looked like it was going to be a routine ground out. It'll be their, I have them down for 1 error. Actually, no, that is their first error of the ball game. Now Parker up. He has walked and singled. He's officially 1 for 1. And here comes the courtesy runner. Yeah, I mean, I really shouldn't do the things I do, like ponder out loud and coach, but it would only make sense. And Sean McGuire out there to pinch run. That's a big run for Rutland on first base, a possible run, potential run, and that's a big, got to get that guy no further from first base type deal for Bennington. I guess a bunt is never out of the question, but there is 1 down. You'd get him to second base on a successful sacrifice, but you'd have 2 down. And Parker has been swinging the bat well. You can double play anybody, but you know Parker would be a tough guy to double up. We'll see now. A lot of choices. I would let him swing away, and again, I got to stop doing that. But Parker up, and I couldn't think of only a couple other guys I'd have up there in this situation. Oh yeah. He teed off on it. He's going to have himself a base hit. He didn't even wait. He just hit. He liked it. He hit it. And there's Parker. Again, just a good athlete, good baseball player. I know he wants to go on and play baseball in college, but I don't know if how far he's gone as far as looking at the colleges. Chad Ryan up. He is flying out to second base, and that was McFadden that made the play on that. And then he laid down a beautiful sacrifice bunt, but he's got first and second, 1 down. And Ryan with some decent speed. There's speed at the plate and speed on the bases right now, and that speed is always in any sport, as we're finding out, is the key to success. So there is the 1 out, and post 31 with a bottom of the 6th threat here. They're up 2-1 over Bennington in a league matchup. And between 2 teams that each have a league loss. So yeah, it's very short baseball season in Vermont, Legion season, and every game critical. You want to be one of the top 4 teams to make the tournament. Just overwhelmed them with it. The great pitch. Harris just reared back, found everything he had, and threw as hard as he could, and just got right by Chad Ryan. That's just challenging the hitter and saying, there you go. You can't hit it. Oh, then he went breaking ball. They're going to get 1, and that's all, and they're not even going to get that. Oh, they're going to say he stayed on the bag. That is a big-time stretch by McFadden, and Parker didn't question it, but I'll tell you what, that is one I'll watch over when I rewind the tape, because it looked like the throw had taken him off the bag. So there's 2 down, but runners at first and third. So Garrett Brewer up. He's flied out twice, last time to the catcher. He did send a deep fly ball to left field, but a wild pitch pass ball gives you a chance to score. An error. Nice breaking ball. See Brewer start, but couldn't pull the trigger on it, and it's going to be an 0-1 count. Now, if they're going to pitch you outside, you're going to be you are a big power hitter. You've got to learn to go out, step out, and drive the ball to the opposite field. And that's the only way. You can't try to pull a pitch from that outside position. That's going to be a soft liner. That's the threat. We are going to go to the 7th with Bennington down just 1 run, 2-1. Big change out there for Rutland in the top of the 7th, and it comes in the form of a new pitcher, Justin Pamakala out there. And he's coming off a very impressive performance against Bellows Falls on the road in relief. And again, if you're looking at the order, he's looking at the 7, 8, 9 hitters right now who, between them, have a walk and a single, and then makes a strikeout in there. So if you're Pamakala, you got to feel pretty confident after your last outing coming in here. But this is a big performance right here against Bennington, and that's going to be a tough play. Pamakala will pick it up. He's got a fire and got it. Tell you what, welcome to the ball game, and Matt Sharon doing a little tumble on the infield, picking up the throw. 1 pitch, 1 out. And now Madura up. He walked his last time up. McCullough goes to Roger Williams College. He's been part of this post-31 program. Seems forever, but he's been a great addition. He's had an excellent career. He's contributed in some tremendous ways, pitched some big ball games, big moments. This is one of them. Because Bennington to Rutland is the game. This is their match. They want this. And it's going to be to the shortstop, Sharon. He'll pick it up. He will fire, and 2 down now. So Pamakala just 1 pitch away from getting the save for Turner. So they bring out their 2 most experienced aces tonight to pitch. And it was Yost who has the single in the 7-8-9 portion of the order. And Yost has grounded out to Sharon at short and singled. And they got stranded at second base. So Rutland looking for the win. Will have Dorian glide underneath it. And that's the ball game. Pamakala with a 1-2-3 7th inning of work here, and Rutland will hand Bennington their 2nd league loss. 2-1, so that winning run does come all the way back to the 1st inning when Kyle Harris had a balk that allowed the winning run to come in. What a good ball game. Hope you've enjoyed it. Get out there, support American Legion Baseball, support PEGTV, and always support Munger Vision. God bless America.